Japanese and people who were born in this country were related to Japanese relatives. Used to come in this beautiful place back 1942. Even if you spend the time of summer and the winter, maybe you don't want to come here. But it's really beautiful daytime in Manzanar. In front of Mount Whitney. I want to say thank you to all to celebrate 50th anniversary. Keep on rocking everybody. You don't know Japanese? No, you have to repeat after me. So look at this guy, okay? Just walk. Okay? Look at and just walk. It's simple, but when we tell you this song was back 1963 in the United States of America. Get together now! Arigato, everybody! some media coming to shoot video. I'm going to put it where you are.
Our story. It is an American story. It is a human story. Everyone who our story, our shared history. Yes, welcome. One more time for the banner procession. Thank you. Be here today. My name is Tracy Kato Kiriyama. I am with a few projects, Pull Project, Tuesday Night Project, and Vigilant Love. The Vigilant Love crew, we actually brought 2 buses to an honor to share this stage with our hero and a longtime you will see that we will have things like the taiko, the heat together. Please stay hydrated. Don't be afraid of using together. And to help us keep that moving along, I want to also just point out our speakers. You'll up for Warren Furutani.
Thank you very much, Tracy. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me clarify something what OG stands for if you don't know. Some people think it stands for I gotta tell you folks that from this vantage point, looking out at all of you standing here for the 50th anniversary of the Manzanar pilgrimage, it's stunning. On the Sierra Nevada. What happened was that there was a Poor People's March in Washington where Reverend Philip Veracruz and the coming back from Manzanar. But it was a touchstone, where you encamped. What camp were you in? Did you know such maps in those days, so we put out we would park by the at that time up this road covered with sagebrush, tumbleweed, and overgrowth. All geometric place. And Victor hit the nail right on the head. He said, Warren, this is to pay our respects and to learn from history. For today. Individuals, we came up between Christmas and New Year's. You do not come to the Upper Owens Valley. It was because of the cold. And then when we went back, we had heard on the community grapevine that two coming back to the camp ever since the camp closed. And that was in the springtime because they knew they knew. Ever since then in 1970, we came back in the spring. And the reason it's the last Saturday on April is because that's opening day for trout fishing. So we figured we'd get some Buddha head fishermen at least to come to the pilgrimage. But they started the first Manzanar pilgrimage, and the reason was walk here and where pilgrimage they were a part of. You focus on the religious ceremony. Someone that understands this valley far better than I do. Straight up an activist. That's what she is. And ladies and gentlemen, I want that sounds pretty good, right? Of the Lone Pine, Paiute,
of the Nuwu and Lumu people who they started listening because we were all banding together, and it was really about this being a sacred place. This is a very sacred place, and we have great respect for it. We consider this whole valley a sacred place. For all coming, and let them know that we care and
Can we get one of our stage? And we came up here, inadvertently started the water, is water. Land at the time was the Department. And just driving up with my son, but that's a whole nother story. That we've been working with, Bernadette Johnson. She really appreciate their help and their work and their leadership.
Faces here. But on behalf of the National have a different experience when they come to Manzanar. Their stories are still being preserved. Injustice that about the Paiute youth. Here's one thing I think about. New classroom exhibit. So today, safe day. So on behalf of the National Park, and she'll be giving you Bernadette.
We mark the 50th anniversary. Thank you very much for being with us today. And her staff, the incredible hospitality and keeping us all safe. of more than 2 decades. We have this place and others across the country that will forever stand as reminders of the injustices suffered by so many people. The stories of Japanese Americans and immigrants of Japan National Monument and the Bainbridge Island Japanese American Exclusion Memorial, among others. What begins with the efforts of a few becomes a legacy for all of us. The lay that I am I was gifted this lay by Betsy Young of buildings at the park was to preserve the buildings used as a detainment center attack on Pearl Harbor. Territorial Governor Joseph Poindexter invoked the Hawaii Defense Act, giving him absolute martial law was made, placing control of Hawaii under a military governor. Facility became a detainment camp, eventually holding more than 100 resident Japanese. Those who had been arrested by nightfall had previously been identified. These were just a few of what amounted to 2,000 people from Hawaii, a third of whom were American citizens at the time, who were incarcerated. Mr. Yoshio Koshio artwork. Like so many others at the sites listed above, his depictions tell the stories of the forced relocation civil rights abuses in the 20th century. Those depictions are our stories. Of Sue Kunitomi Embry, Nation in 1985. In mind. Together to make sure this never happens again. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you. So last weekend we had Coachella. Us OGs remember Woodstock. Okay, Woodstock. And if we were to have a music festival here in Manzanar, you know, she is the one that started Tuesday Night Cafe, a performing, speaking program that has been going the program. Tracy.
Take a swig of water together. All right. Next two speakers. We're always interested to know that we have part acknowledging our past and moving forward together. Consul General
only possible because you value the importance. زي سان فرانسيسكوすべきマンザナール巡礼に家内とともに思います。どうもありがとうございます。Join pilgrimages to both camps for this second time. It is no easier the second time seeing the site with my own eyes and made up of mostly Japanese business leaders. A key moment in history and apply its lessons to the modern generation. I understand Japanese American and the friends and others from various places who have come with on behalf of the government and people of Japan, I'd like to express my heartfelt sympathies and appreciation to the people who endured those experiences. We cannot Thank you very much once again for giving me this opportunity to speak today. I wish everyone a very successful and
Thank you very much. We don't know what elected officials are here this afternoon. The assembly this year, and one is from this district, and that's Assemblyman Mathis. Is his representative here? Also, the only Japanese American assembly person and legislator in the state of California, and that's Al Morisuchi. He also.
All right, so I just want to acknowledge how beautiful it actually was to just hear Japanese being spoken here. We were reminded in our bus ride up from their own sense of self, their own sense of dignity, their own language, their own cultural practices. I know that I have people in my family that did not want to speak Japanese or study it ever again. There's a reason why I, as a younger sansei, don't know Japanese, right? And I think it is directly tied to that. So I love and appreciate all the language and invite all of it. Held space for on our bus right here, one of our big sisters, Kathy Masaoka, reminded us of our partnerships beyond the Japanese American. The nation's largest civil rights advocacy group for American Muslims. And we in the Japanese American community have a particular honor of knowing this buses to come to this pilgrimage and has done so every year. And we have built programs together. We are so inspired. Rula Alush. Rula is the chair of the national board. Nihad Awad. Los Angeles executive director. Let's give.
Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with all of you. It's a tremendous honor to be here. And thank you to our Japanese American brothers and sisters who have stood in solidarity. Message for all Americans. It serves as a reminder to each of us that issues of human rights and human presidential campaign. I had one that stayed with me the most. Continue to remember that moment. Ever reduced to a number again. Peace and love to each of you. Thank you.
My name is. When my children were young, we were trying to teach them about American history. We gifted our children 3 books about the mass incarceration on 9/11. When 9/11 happened, and we have seen the anti-Muslim propaganda in the media, blaming Islam and the entire Muslim community for the terrorist attacks, similar to the blame that was leveled against happen to Japanese Americans may happen to her and to her. She told us this a few days after 9/11. I and care team, or any children in America. In memory of those people background. This
And we as discrimination or against racial profiling and natural resources, or any separation of children from. We believe in this injustice. Thank you. And begin with Assalamu alaikum, which means peace with you. The activists from all over California, we are honored to be joined by actually care leaders from all over the country. 50th anniversary of this pilgrimage. The reason we come here truly is to say thank you. Courage, your embracing of the imagine what will happen. And since then, we've been honored building these bridges together. So thank you for the several times, and I've brought my children here, is because truly important civil rights, and your resilience, your presence has made that possible. Thank you for that. And you know what? Almost 75 we still have to deal with camps. Say never again. Let's make sure it never happens again. Thank you for being here, and I look forward to continuing this partnership.
Let me also thank building the bridges with the Muslim American community. And 2 years ago, it was an indelible picture in my mind now. Framed by the Sierra Nevada mountains. That's the kind of sacred place and gathering place. About the idea. He probably thought we were a little crazy at that time, but he's the ultimate. Oh, marching to Manzanar. He wasn't all for marching to Manzanar, but this to Manzanar. Not walk, not march, but they run to Manzanar as an educational example, the kind of fortitude, perseverance, and commitment.
Again, my name is Mo Nishida. I am here as a representative of the 5,500 indigenous unity and prayer run. And let me introduce some of our runners this year. This is our 28th Spirit Runners Circle. Alda, Tani, Linda, Isako, Horizo, Rio. They're over there raising their hand. And over there. So. Our support for all the work that's being done here today. I mean, and to carry it on for 50 years, right? So that we can come here together today. Say, right, as a Buddha head, man, doesn't it make you feel good that the Muslim sisters and brothers can be here, right? Stand up and talk about, yeah, we have support from our my dignity, you know, and my pride and